Hello, Narnach here. Welcome to the Offworld Trading Company. This is the early access game that's gonna come out of early access on the 28th of April 2016. So that's 4 days from when I'm recording. So it's a reasonable assumption that this beta 10 that I'm playing is gonna be the release version. And I've been tracking this game for, well, I think ever since it came into early access about half a year or a year ago. It's been quite a while. The game has gone through some changes and it's only gotten better. So what I wanted to do is do a short let's play series in which we play a single player campaign and we go through all the motions. And the interesting thing about the campaign is that it actually uses a couple of different scenarios all set within the game. So there's going to be different objectives from scenario to scenario. You'll be facing different opponents, you'll have different factories and other buildings that you have available to you, and that will just, you'll get access to more tools as things increase. If you want to experience the full game experience, you can always of course do a skirmish mission or play multiplayer, but I figured this would be an interesting way to show you this very interesting and unique game. So difficulties, you can start from applicant all the way up to CEO, and I'll just warn you, this game can get pretty darn difficult. The default is a manager, that's the level where the AI is supposed to play at, and I just get completely crushed when I play at that. So for now we're gonna try an assistant, see if that's less humiliating, but that's it. So let's see, we choose our CEO, and the CEOs come basically they correspond with factions. So you got the expansives, you got the robotics, you got the scavengers, and you got the scientifics. So the expansives, they get an extra claim at the beginning, so they can build one extra building. The robotics, they don't need to feed, they don't need water, they don't need food, so they have less requirements put upon themselves on what to build. The scavengers are a bit better at using the black market and just doing whatever it takes. And the scientists, they get some extra efficiency out of the buildings they place, because if you have a building chain where, for example, you mine iron ore and turn it into steel, scientifics, they can just put the steel factory on top of an iron mine of an iron deposit, and they can skip the step of mining out the iron, and they'll just instantly fix that by science. But for now, let's play with the expansives. That gives you the most vanilla game experience, and they're pretty fun to play as well. So, a nice introduction to the campaign. The campaign is a special single-player mode of Offworld Trading Company, which provides an overarching goal to be achieved over multiple missions, to be the last corporation standing on Mars. The player controls one of 8 corporations, which over the course of multiple missions will increase their income by investing in Martian colonies, hire more labor to improve productivity, and raise their stock price to position themselves for victory. Unlike the regular game, all buildings are not available by default. Instead, each corporation needs at least one worker to unlock each building. And those workers you see on the left hand side here, you see a bunch of buildings we already have 1 or 2 workers in, and adding extra workers beyond the first will just improve their efficiency. And you also see that for the wind turbine and the geothermal plant over here we don't have workers, while they are actually the most effective power sources in the game. So, for example, water pumps are unlocked with water pump engineers, pleasure domes are unlocked with pleasure dome managers, and off-world markets are unlocked with off-world market astronauts, and so on. So those are part of the special buildings down there. If more than one worker of a specific type is hired, the building's performance increases. Each water pump engineer increases the performance of the water pumps by 25%. Please note that all the buildings start off with a negative 50% penalty compared to the base game. So when you have 3 workers, you get the same efficiency as the base game. Extra workers for the advanced buildings, such as the upgrade lab, the hacker array, allow the player to build multiple buildings of that building. Okay, that's pretty clear. So in the beginning, we have a couple of areas we can go. So we got the Sinai Planum and we got the Nergal Vallis. And they get different perks. So if you win the Sinai Planum, then if you have the most stock, you actually get a Circuit Overload perk, which sounds like a sabotage thing that you're gonna use the next mission. And in the Nergal Vallis, you get a slowdown strike again for the next one. So this is a medium map. This is a large. Oh, hey, there's actually the Thaumasia Planum as well, which gets you a magnetic storm, which is, if I remember correctly, it actually disables an entire area of buildings, which can get pretty interesting. So this is also a medium one. Resource presence is rare, medium, low. So medium resource presence sounds like it's gonna be interesting. So we'll actually have a bit of everything available. So we got 600k space bucks in funds. So let's see what we can do with this. Is there an extra power source, a wind turbine or a geothermal plant that we can maybe acquire? No, I don't think so. There's some extra bonuses. We get some more solar panel engineers. So that makes our solar panels just better. Then we can upgrade other things. Let's see, dry ice condenser. That's the regular ice condenser. Ah, we already have one of those. I don't think we can unlock a dry ice engine. Here. That's it. So for 50,000, if we want to hire it permanently, we get 200,000. Otherwise, it's just for a single week. So if we just shift click, we now get access to dry ice condensers if we need them. Now, and from a strategic point of view, you want to have as many different buildings available as you can. And these are just some upgrades. And you can only add 1 permanent member to your staff every week. So I think we're good enough for now. So these are all our competitors over here. We all have a stock price of 4. If I understand correctly, in the first couple of rounds, so the first 3 levels, we'll just be facing off against them and earning perks and increasing our stock value. And after that, every week the lowest stock price company is going to get eliminated until 4 are remaining, and then we duke it out with them. So that's going to be 3 missions plus another 4 plus another 1. So that's 8 missions in total to get through the campaign, if I'm calculating things correctly. So let's dive into the first mission and let's see what it's all about. So I've played through the campaign for a bit, and I've played a couple of missions, and it's interesting. Okay, so campaign missions work significantly different from regular skirmishes. First, the stock market is closed. So the different corporations are not trying to buy stock in each other. Instead, campaign missions last for 7 days. The counter is up here. And the corporations are competing to invest in a colony, which can be found in the middle of the map. The colony is composed of a set of modules in the middle of the map, which determine how big the colony's population can grow and whether there are enough workplaces to attract new colonists. The colony will grow as long as the population is less than both the housing and workplaces available. Each module purchased by a corporation provides 1 share of colony stock for it. The corporation with the most colony stock at the end of the mission will receive the bonus perk. Also, the colony adds to its income of all corporations relative to its final population and the number of shares of colony stock owned. So the bigger the colony here, the more we win, the more money we make afterwards. So the early stage of the game, we start scouting.
That will be useful.
And at any moment we can plop down our headquarters. But the thing is, of course, if we discover a better location,
high levels of aluminum
we would have wanted to wait for a bit. So it's a bit of a trade-off. Like, for example, there's a lot of iron here. Oh, 3 worth of iron. So this is a very strong field. Actually, this is so abundant, I have a suspicion that iron is not going to be worth a lot. Well, for example, there's less carbon available. Ooh. That's a 3 stack of carbon. Next to a 3 stack of iron. Some geothermal. I think we're just going to plop down here and see what we can make of it. So, plop down. Actually, we couldn't make geothermals, could we? Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Preliminary scans agree this is a great primary location for our new investment.
So,
You can
high levels of silicon found.
let's put
High
down
levels of water found.
some power. Okay, so this is about as high as it gets. Let's put down at least a solar cell, then we have some power to drive everything. And then this little robot constructor is going to go over and plop down our solar cell for us. And after that, we'll start producing power. And everything that we don't use, we will automatically sell to the market.
Expansive colony founded.
Scientific colony founded.
So there's a carbon over there. Let's grab some of the rich veins. Also, we will need some water. It's a long haul away, but we do need water. Also, let's upgrade our headquarters to get more claim tiles. That means we can just add another water to it. And if you build harvesters of the same type next to each other, you get an adjacency bonus, so they become way more efficient. Let's see, silicone is over there. This is another 3 stack. So the height of the stack indicates how much of a deposit is there, and as a result how much you'll be harvesting every second or every tick. Right, so we've invested in just setting up a bunch of mines to get raw materials to the base. We actually are lacking aluminium. Let's have a look if we can find that. Ooh, that's also really nice and close. So let's mine some of that as well. Okay, so iron is going to be brought to our base by one of those nice floating spaceship boat things. So let's construct a steel mill to convert that as well. And maybe we should pay a bit of attention to survivability as well. Because the colonists in our headquarters, they want to eat and they want to drink and they actually like to breathe the air. So, silly as that sounds. So let's build a hydroponics farm. It just needs a bunch of water and it will result in a nice amount of food for us. Or specifically for our colonists. And now we're producing more food than we are eating, so we're actually net positive on that. And I think we will probably want to conclude with an electrolysis reactor to get ourselves some oxygen and some fuel. Let's build that on the... Let's build it on the other side here.
Expansive colony expanded.
Okay, you see that our competitors are also just upgrading. Okay, so if you have debt every day, your bond rating is going to be adjusted, which determines how much interest you pay on it. On the other hand, we actually have some goods that we can sell. So iron, contrary to my expectation, it's not dropping in price, it's actually rising in price. While aluminium here is taking a nice plunge. Silicon is relatively stable, but we can sell some of it. Let's drop down quite a bunch of this onto the market. It just crashed the price by 10. But this is a bit of a thorn in my side. We need more claims to build. So we need to upgrade our HQ. So we need more steel and we need more glass. Glass is rising in price. So might as well want to buy a bit of it before the price just peaks out even further. And steel is something that we produce ourselves. Okay, so this is also continually rising in price. We completely misestimated. Oh, interesting. So now there's an auction for it's a random event, an auction for a core sample. Let's bid on it. If you win it, you actually gain 2 core samples that you can take, which means you can spawn resources on a tile where you want. And I click it, and then there's a 90% chance of aluminium spawning. You don't know how much it is, but you know that a new resource will spawn in the place where you click it. So it's also all about boosting the colony in the center. On the other hand, we really need to get our resources up. So let's just sell it, boom, upgrade it. So we have an extra claim, so we can actually build a reactor. Sell some more raw resources. We completely crashed the price here. Let's do the same here. Build ourselves a reactor. Let's see what comes of it. So these are adjacent to each other, so they should give each other a bonus. But it might be that we need to make another one. Yeah, see, it's still not enough. So make another one. And this way you get a nice triangle and you get the maximum bonus, because they all get a 75% bonus. And then I see that we are now also short on food, so let's build ourselves a bonus here as well. Then next up we can build another one to make another triangle and boost the output. Let's see, water. Let's have another look at that. Is there space to expand? Well, eventually we can expand here as well. So we get a nice water triangle as well. And these are 2 and 3 stacks. Also, we actually spent quite a bit on fuel and power to just transport things out. And that's because this has to travel more or less across the map, which is not a good thing.
Expansive colony expanded.
So if we can do something like boost the price of, or drop the price of fuel, then it actually becomes cheaper to make everything else. And that's one of the ways that everything is related in the game, because it's a living, breathing market. Let's build some more power. This just isn't enough. And a second solar cell at least is gonna provide us with power during the day. During the night, solar cells don't receive any light, so yeah, you're out of luck again. Let's see, a perk for an upgrade lab technician. So you can build an extra upgrade lab. Let's participate in the auction. I don't think we actually have an upgrade lab, but maybe we can drive the price up a bit. That way they end up paying more, so they'll be deeper in debt, and then it's gonna be less good for them. Speaking of deeper in debt, we actually don't have that much money either. something happens. A magnetic storm. That was not very good. So there's currently a water shortage. Let's capitalize on it. That gives us enough money to upgrade our HQ again.
Scientific colony expanded.
Let's build another water plant, because upgrading our HQ boosted our water demand. So let's build it here so we have a triangle again. It's probably gonna boost the demand for fuel as well. I suspected as much. This way we can just build it adjacent and get more fuel. On the other hand, it's maybe food is a better investment. Since we don't need fuel to transport this, we can just instantly sell it. Okay, let's have a look at some of the higher end resources that we could also sell. Sell some things till we are below 100 again. And these are just very, very poor in price. Looked like they were rallying for a bit, but in the end the prices just crashed. Steel is actually doing pretty well. So we could convert some of our iron into steel. That way we turn a relatively low value good into a higher value good. Still have the core samples, but I don't think there's a specific resource that we want more of. Also, we are pretty darn low on power, and that is because they are on strike, so they only produce half of their regular amount. So that will actually fix itself after the strike is over, and until then we just pay more for power, which is unfortunate, but part of the case. Also, we are at day 4 out of 7 now. We should slowly start thinking about improving the central colony. Oh, teleportation. That's a very useful patent. Because that means we no longer need these transport ships. But we will have instantaneous travel. That's all worth a lot actually, because it will save us a huge amount for fuel. And it also means that we can just... Basically we're very free to just expand all over the map. See, we had our water here, for example, and there's no longer transportation cost. We just instantly teleported back home. And suddenly we are producing a massive amount of fuel. Which, while before we were only barely getting by. On the other hand, what happened to our water consumption? We have been adding a lot to it, and there's mutiny here. And of course, when there's a mutiny, nothing actually gets built. Well, water is relatively valuable and we still have a claim left, so let's do a core sample over here. And that was not water, that's actually carbon. Rather annoying. I was hoping for water. So I figured, well, just build something. So we only have an adjacency bonus of 1 rather than of a 2. Upside is this one is gonna get boosted as well. So we might just want to get rid of some of our supplies in goods that are actually rising in price. This is complete junk aluminium, but we can use it to upgrade. Iron, we probably... we're just gaining a little bit. We're refining most of it into steel. And then glass is the final one. You can probably turn some oxygen and some silicon into glass. So let's start with that on this side of the base. Because we are producing everything in, well, in
Expansive
pretty
colony
good
expanded.
abundance. Boost our base. We probably just want a bit more glass. This will actually allow us to do something with our
Scientific
reserves of
colony
silicon.
expanded.
So I think our water dynamite. Someone destroyed our solar panel. What? Repair it. Bit for a pleasure dome, sure. Let's have a look at it. Okay, cool. So we actually won a pleasure dome, which is like an entertainment hub. Uses some power. Actually. Okay, so this will be rebuilt. We are using a lot of power. Might want to build another one next to it, so then during the day we'll at least have a bit of surplus. Okay. Besides the power situation, how are things progressing? Food is going very strong still. Let's sell a bunch. So let's boost things a bit. Doesn't need more warehouses. So that means we need to build a habitat and then we can add a warehouse. So this way we can control what kinds of demands are put on the central colony. So if we just... For every habitat you can build one of the other things. So the warehouse, it consumes a lot of glass, and since we're producing glass, that seems like a very good combination. So this way there's a lot of demand on glass, and as such the price is gonna go up. Oh no, my water pump has been targeted by mutiny yet again. Good thing is we got decent reserves. Okay, we are producing a surplus of power again, that's good. Let's invest more in the town. So currently we have 11 shares, while our closest rivals have a bit less. Ooh, financial instruments is pretty good. That allows you to make money off of your rival's interest. I'm accruing quite some debt and as a result quite some interest. And actually, let's build another silicon mine. And we get our supply back up. So we have another silicon mine, well, somewhere. If someone built a habitat, then we might as well build another of these warehouses. This workplace requires electronics, which in turn requires aluminium, which we are producing, and it's actually gaining in value for a change. Also looks like suddenly our food situation is a bit less than ideal, so we might want to have a look at that. Ah, we need more water. We actually ran out of our reserves. We still have a claim. So potentially we can have a look at it. Or are we completely being striked again? Yeah, someone is just using strikes against us. And then things are working again. Okay, that's better. Let's build another water. No, it's more silicon. Actually, there's not a lot of silicon available, so we might as well. We can build another glass manufactory and just sell it. This way we get a decent bonus. Okay, we're completely out of claims. Now's a good opportunity to sell things. Can actually just pay off our debt. We cannot buy anything anymore, so we cannot invest in, well, future money generating opportunities. Okay, let's actually buy some water. That was a pretty expensive investment, but this way at least we'll have it secured. And day 7 went by. We can now control 46.2% of the colony because we heavily invested in it. So we get some bonus cash on hand, and we have a bunch of future income from this colony. So the better everybody makes this, the more everybody gains, and the biggest winner gains the most. So the campaign is split into 3 rounds. Growth rounds, that's weeks 1, 2 and 3. During this round, the player's corporation helps grow a Martian colony, which then increases the corporation's income between missions. Each mission lasts a specific number of sols, which is just days, with the winning corporation being the one which acquires the most colony stock. Elimination round, weeks 4 through 7. Like the growth round, but except at the end of each mission, the corporation with the lowest stock price and which did not just win a mission is eliminated. And the final round in week 8 is between the last 4, and then it's like a regular skirmish, and then you can actually buy each other's stocks. So before the mission we had 400,000 cash on hand. We gained a lot of cash. This is dollars, this is thousands of dollars, so basically the debt was negligible. We got some income and stuff, so we got 800 to spend. Let's see, would you prefer a free solar panel or wind turbine when founding your HQ for the next 2 weeks? Well, solar panels, as you saw, you only get benefit of them every night. So let's get a wind turbine to diversify our power sources. And then we have 800k to invest in something. So let's see if we can get ourselves an engineer for a geothermal plant or a wind turbine. We got a geothermal here actually. 600k is permanently ours. So I think that was a very good investment. And that's what we're gonna call this one end of the episode. So I hope you'll join me again next episode as we take on the second mission and grow our enterprise to even further heights in terms of profitability. Thanks for watching and see you next time.